After a considerable amount of time away, it's time for the return of 7 on Sunday. My name's John, you're watching Beyond ARTV, the subsidiary to ARTV, my main channel where I do album reviews, top 10 countdowns, and of course on this channel, if you're not familiar, get familiar. There's a lot of cool stuff here. I do kind of off-the-cuff discussions, a couple of series like Musical Mad Libs, 7 on Sunday, both of which are returning, and a new series that I'm going to be introducing within the next 3 to 4 months, so definitely stay tuned for that. Today, as you saw from the title of this video, to welcome things back, I want to get in your pants. Well, not your pants specifically. These artists seem to want to get in the pants of whoever they're talking to in the song. We're talking about 7 super sexual songs. Sorry for beating around the bush there, no pun intended, which introduces some of our honorable mentions. That's right, I set myself up too easily.
Legs eating ass, your pussy's too good, I need to crash. Your titties, let them out, free your last.
I'm Brazilian, wax poetic, so pathetically. I don't wanna beat around the bush.
I gotta interject to say this. I really hope that I never get too mature to laugh at that, at least just a little bit.
Strut, uniform, Charlie.
You're wondering why these songs aren't making it on the actual list. I see the frustration in your eyes already, but I didn't include these songs because they're too obvious. I want somebody who's gonna make me work for it a little bit. You know, the chase. That's the fun part, sifting through the lyrics to find the sex, or at least have something a little bit more complicated going on. These are songs that I like that are about sex, but are just a little bit more straightforward about it.
It's time for action.
When she described her underwear, I forgot all the rules my rabbi taught me in the old shul.
Well, now that I've blown through that load, I guess it's time to move on to the actual top 7. 7 super sexual songs. Maybe not all blatantly in your face, but at their heart, there's really some stuff going on that we need to dig into. Number 7.
I wanna take you in the kitchen, lift up your wedding dress, someone was probably murdered in, so bourgeoisie.
The first entry on our list is a man named Josh Tillman, but he really needs no introduction. He goes by the name Father John Misty. He's the asshole of the indie world that has just enough wit and sarcasm to make you think that maybe he's not talking about you, but a lot of the time he actually is. Now granted, this song, Chateau Lobby number 4 in C for 2 Virgins, isn't exactly entirely about sex, but a lot of it actually is. Most of this song and this album seems to be written for his wife, Emma, and he's basically saying that he prefers to mainly spend time with her, in her. The song starts to reveal that maybe they're not talking about losing their virginity in general, but maybe just having sex with each other the first time, and he's kind of recollecting that, thinking back on it fondly. There's a couple of lines that make you think that maybe it's talking about her losing her virginity, considering the whole line, lift up your wedding dress, someone was probably murdered in. Think about it. If you're younger and this is the first video of mine that you ever decided to show your parents, I'm so sorry. You should have seen the title. You should have known. Number 6 comes from a huge pop star, one of her best and most underrated songs, dare I say. I remember seeing a video a couple of years ago, and I actually found it again whenever I was looking for early performances of this song. I knew this was one of Lady Gaga's early works, but I think that it has a lot more passion and a lot more depth than a lot of her music does. No, it's not incredibly deep necessarily, but at the same time, she's smart about her sexual innuendos. She's talking about how she's with her current boyfriend. He's not really getting the job done. She's kind of bored, if we're being honest. But she has this guy that seems to come around only when she's in a relationship. Basically, he wants what he can't have, but at the same time, she kind of likes that he likes that, and she knows that and takes advantage of that because she wants to get it in. That's right. Every night she's wanting it. Boom, 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 boom. That's what we're talking about right there. Again, never stop again. I bet you half of you probably didn't even know that song was about that. Now you know. Open the eyes. Innocence is lost.
Landlord said the wall vacant more than a minute. The wall are vulnerable. Exclamation, interior pink, color coordinated. I interrogated every nook and cranny. I mean, it's still amazing. Before they couldn't stand me.
Sex. If these walls could talk. If these walls could talk, they would probably say a lot less interesting things than what Kendrick's walls that he's talking about would say. He's talking about the vaginal walls of a female. I'm talking about walls on one of my bedrooms that I converted into a studio. These walls would probably just say, hey, this douchebag just sits in front of me with a camera and then edits over in a corner quietly on Saturday nights. These Walls is a phenomenal song. It turned into one of my favorite tracks on To Pimp a Butterfly. Kendrick Lamar, the rapper from the West Coast, his album dropped last year, and this is just a really smart song that really took some time to sink in with me. At first, I thought, and I still think that this is an element to it, I think he's talking about if these walls could talk, they would see all of the pleasure, all of the pain, really everything in his life that went down. But as I listen to it a little bit more, I think that yes, mainly this song is about sex. Talking about all the stories and all the women that he's had over the years. If these walls could talk, basically saying like, hey, almost bragging here, but hey, I'm good at having sex, I'm good at my craft, and a lot of women would back me up on that.
This is the first and last time he says. She takes a smile and presses her hips into his. He keeps his hands pinned down at his side. He's holding back from telling her exactly what it really.
I love number 4 on my list. It's one that's been in rotation for such a long time. I've been listening to this song for almost 10 years now. Obviously, I didn't really know what it was about much at all whenever I was a kid. There were a few lines that I picked up on here and there that made me think that it was sexual in nature, but actually reading along with the lyrics years later, especially like whenever I really started getting into brand new, like around senior year in high school and the years coming after that, I was like, holy shit, this dude's talking about losing innocence and turning into a man, but he wasn't even ready. He didn't know if he was ready or not. And I love that they're portraying things from that point of view. You always think like, oh yeah, the dude, he just wants to get off. He just wants to go ahead and lose the V card and the girl is the nervous one. No, here it's portraying the woman as the confident person in the situation and the guy is being super nervous. Basically, she's running her hands all over him, sliding it up, and he's not ready. He doesn't think that he's ready, but he goes along with it anyways, even though he knows this is wrong. And I love the line on here. He doesn't want to blow it. You know, he's talking about he doesn't want to blow his chances, but he also doesn't want to come too quick. And I think that's one of the most clever lines in the entire song. Love it from start to finish. You know what else I usually love from start to finish? I was talking about Brand New's album, you perverts.
You don't know what hell you've been through to have someone kiss the skin that crawls from you.
Woo! Sex and drugs and rock and roll, they always mix well together, don't they? Well, at least for interesting stories and interesting songs they do. Hozier released his debut self-titled effort in the fall of 2014. It was an album that one of my friends played like over and over again, and then I finally kind of connected with it, started listening to it, and I was like, okay, there's actually some really good songs on here, and this is one of the darkest, most raw songs on here, and it's about sex and heroin addiction. He's craving sex to keep his mind free, and he kind of sees her as wanting not only him, but she's also craving something else. It seems like he doesn't know if he's being used or what exactly is going on, but at the same time, he knows that it feels good and he's okay with the pleasure.
Our treasure, pleasure.
In your snatch Fitzpleasure, a boom pleasure.
Tra la la, tra la la la. Number 2 is Fitzpleasure. I can't sing Fitzpleasure. Is this song about rape? Does it encourage certain things? Is it too dark for some to understand or comprehend? Is it a story? Is it a situation? Is it based on real life events? I don't even want to spoil this song for you just because it's something special. It's got a dark potency to it, but it is very graphic in a way. Maybe not so much with words, but once that portrait comes together and you see what they're talking about on this track. I mean, if the line "in your snatch fits pleasure," you know what? Go hear it for yourself. Get back to me with what you've analyzed the song, and I'll be waiting patiently in the comments section.
4 books look across your sofa. I thought your coffee table was more clever than that. It gets worse once we get to her room. She stops and she sings do 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 do. I claim new religion's my song. She doesn't get it. It's all before she was born.
Unexpected number 1 on my list, I think, for a lot of you, because a lot of you will not know what this is. You probably thought to yourself, I recognize the voice in that clip. Where do I know that guy from? That is Nate Ruess from Fun and, of course, his solo stuff that he goes by his own name for. This is from his original band, The Format. This song came out in, I believe, 2007, 2008 on the album Dog Problems, which you would definitely want to check out if you're a fan of Fun. I love Nate's voice, and this track is so smart. I love this song, and I think that a lot of people overlook it and dismiss it just because it's Nate Ruess. It's pop rock, it's pop music, and a lot of people don't think that there are clever lyrics in there, but he makes so many clever twists in this song, and I love the story. Basically, this is how it goes down. He meets this girl, he's looking for sex, he knows that she's easy, that she's leaving town soon, and that he can score. But as he gets to know this girl, he looks for flaws. He's looking for all these reasons to dismiss her intelligence. She doesn't have enough books out on the coffee table, she doesn't read enough, she's not on the same level as him musically, she likes one Duran Duran song because she's so young, she only knows the big hit Hungry Like the Wolf, and he says, hey, New Religion's the song that I like, implying that he likes like albums or deep cuts or something like that. And by the end of this song, he realizes that after he has sex with this girl, that he's not only wanted a one-night stand, he wants something more than that now. But now she's leaving, she's getting on a plane, and she's never coming back again, most likely. And he realizes that he doesn't want her to go, and suddenly he fell for her. This song, it's just overlooked, like I said, over and over again. I never know anyone that knows this song, and I had to put it at the number 1 spot on my list of super sexual songs.